Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. You're seeing this on Sunday the 14th. I'm actually recording it on Saturday the 13th, but by the time it comes out, you'll see it on Sunday. Anyway, we're going to take care of some of the homestead stuff today. The neighbor's been out here this morning cutting their hay and whatnot. I went to check on my duck pond this morning, and that we pumped the water out of for the farm, around the house and all that, and it's almost empty. So we're heading up the road this morning to check and see what's going on at the head gate. Then we're going to attack the little Alice Chalmers tractor, the Lil Bee, and make an inventory on it, see what all we need to do to get it up and running. Yeah, we might even take it for a test drive today. Yep, looks like just a trickle of water going on again, so we'll have to probably grab the post hole digger and clean the sediment out of here. What this is a diversion dam sort of a thing. Split the water between my place and the place that's right here behind me. Well, let's see, I wonder if... There we go. Well, that right there is more like what it ought to be, running down towards my farm. Well, as you can see over there on the far side, we got water running back into the main duck pond again. But you can see how low the water is. Not really to the point down there on that intake for the pump where I'm really worried about maybe, having to shut the pump off to let the water build back up. If I'd have been another 4 or 5 hours before I caught that water not flowing, I would have had to shut the pump off at the duck pond, let that water level build back up to a point again where it'd keep on working. As it is, I caught it early enough, so I think we should be all right. So now, on to the first thing we're going to do today, which is a real quick oil change on the little pickup, and then we're going to get on to the Alice. I don't know what auto parts store you have in your neck of the woods. We have an O'Reilly's here that I stopped and picked up this MicroGuard filter from. Normally I run Baldwin and everything. I just happen to be out of them at the minute and need to order some more off of eBay because they're dirt cheaper there. But I did notice one thing about the MicroGuard. It's got plastic on the end of it to keep junk out of it. So yeah, maybe that's an okay filter. It's got metal down the inside of it and whatnot, so yeah, and it wasn't too terribly outrageously priced either. Unlike another oil filter that we'll get to in a minute. Yeah, I was over at my daughter's place where she's working there, and they were selling this Harvest King 5W20, which is the correct weight of oil viscosity for the engine here in the little Ranger or Mazda B2300, that little 4-cylinder engine. But I'd be curious to know if any of you have used the Harvest King brand oils before, and if you've had any luck with it. This 5-quart jug was 20 bucks. The one thing I did notice about this MicroGuard filter, though, made in China. Ugh. Well, while we're talking about where these oil filters are made, let's see if I can spot anything on Made in USA right there. On these Baldwins, there's a logo right there. It says Made in USA, so that's good. Yeah, we like that. So anyway, what I'm doing under here, let me move you around a little bit. We're going to install that new oil filter up here and put the plug back in and whatever. I know that's really super thrilling and exciting, but while I'm under here, I thought I would take a minute to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. I kind of unwillingly or unknowingly give a ultimatum out there that if I hadn't hit 700 subscribers by the time the 500th video came out, I was going to stop making videos to put out there on YouTube. So I don't know if I scared y'all into subscribing or if I'm actually doing something right now and getting new subscribers. But let's see, righty tighty, I gotta go this way. But yeah, we have gained 33 or 34 subscribers since the middle of May. Middle of June, maybe June, I think it is. Well, anyway, in the last 3 weeks, I've gained about 33, 34 new subscribers. We had lost a few, so YouTube won't count those. But yeah, anyway, we picked up a few more new ones, and I appreciate that. So thank you, everybody that's subscribing. You know who you are. I've been getting a lot of comments from people, too, about the name change and keep doing what I'm doing and all that sort of thing. So I thank you for that too, folks. Comments coming back from you folks let me know if I'm doing the right thing that you guys enjoy seeing. So without some sort of feedback once in a while, the channel tends to wander and get a little lost. That's why we did the name change anyway, is because I wasn't doing what the farm was doing, or what I was doing around the farm anyway. So yeah, I used to really enjoy using the Sinclair oils that were blended by Warren Distributing for Sinclair. They were a pretty good product. Didn't really have any engine noise or anything. I tried some Valvoline in this engine, and oh my golly, for 3,000 miles I did get a lot of clatter out of the valve train. So I don't much care for Valvoline in this particular use in this engine. We're going to give this Harvest King a whirl, see what it does. Yeah, it was like 28 bucks on sale for 20, so I couldn't pass that up. Thought that was a pretty good deal. This engine only holds about 4.5 quarts, so I usually end up with some left over. So I put some in it, let it sit for a while, check the dipstick, and go from there. Anyway, yeah, while this is settling down through the engine so I can check the dipstick, let's go check on the little Alice Chalmers tractor. Now, how we're going to do this Alice Chalmers tractor on its walk around to see what I need to do and buy and get for it. We're going to start at the front, walk around the left corner to the left rear corner, right rear corner, and up to the right front corner. We'll just do that like they do, commercial truck drivers do, that they're supposed to do before every trip they make with their truck. So that's how we're going to do this. I don't know how much of this you can see, but Lil Bee has been repainted at one time before in its life. Didn't do a very good job of it. They painted the grill here black. It's supposed to be orange. Grill's got a dent in it right here. It's fairly, well, it could be knocked out, and I do have new replacement screens, so I could replace that. So we'll have to check into this grill a little bit more. I may have another one. If not, maybe I can find one on Fleabay or something that we can replace this with until such a time as I can hire a good body shop guy to take all that dimples out of the bottom end of it there. Okay, coming around this side, missing headlights. So yeah, we're gonna have to order a set of headlights for this thing. I already have front tires and inner tubes for these rims. This tire is just a car tire. The other side is a matching tire, but it's on a different style rim. It's like on a Dodge rim. Those are going to get pulled off and replaced with actual triple rib tires of the right size and whatnot. And I do have another rim. So we're going to clean those rims and hubs up, put new gaskets in them and whatnot, check the bearings, all that sort of thing. And we're going to attack, while that's jacked up in the air, we're going to attack these spindles to see how loose they are, and they're moving. So we're probably going to need some bushings for the upper and lower there, so I'll have to order in some of those. So we'll replace that. We'll dive into the tie rod ends. And there's a little story on those with the ball that are cast onto them. We'll probably tackle that one in its own video. I'm going to leave this 3-wire alternator on here, just clean it up a little bit. And I have an actual alternator mounting bracket that we're going to put on here. We're going to keep this there. It's already there. I've got a generator set up for them for 6 volt, but this one's already got that there, so we'll just continue to use it. And yeah, we got to pull these off on both sides. These are part of the mounting assembly for the whatchamacallit, the loader that we took off in the last video. We'll have to pull this oil cup off, clean it out, check out the oil filter, or the oil bath air filter, make sure it's okay. I think the carburetor's okay, but we need to check its linkage for the throttle, because this thing runs at about 3/4 throttle all the time without thinking about it. So might need a seal there. I don't think that's really that much of a wear problem. Yeah, we'll have to do something about a battery box. I'm not sure where the ground was on the original 6-volt batteries. It's probably down here somewhere, maybe, or well, up on the other side. I'm not sure where it was. I'll have to look into that. I still have to remove these support brackets for the front end loader. That's got to get taken care of. Somebody has pulled the dash off. Yeah, we need a new alternator gauge, amp gauge, sorry, and a few switches in that from the looks of it. Otherwise, it's salvageable, and we'll make it work. We come back here, let's see. Got a nice little red work light here. We'll have to clean it up, make sure it works, get it wired in. We've got diamond tread tires on the rear of this tractor. I'm seriously contemplating pulling those off, those rims. Of course, the snow chains have got to come off. But yeah, I'm seriously thinking I want to put some ag tires on there, although we're going to play with it for a while, see how these work. We may leave these on there yet, even though they're getting weather checked. They still have a lot of rubber left in them, but yeah, if you see down in here, they're getting cracks and stuff. Usable for a tractor, but I don't know, we'll see. I may spend the money and get something good anyway. A little bit of cancer going on there in the fender. I don't know if you can see that or not right there. So we'll have to get some fenders for it. Drawbar I'm not going to worry about, because we're going to change this all over when we put on the 3-point hitch setup. I am going to need the PTO cover, or plate, or whatever it is, bolts back on there. We're going to need a belt pulley and a nut for that pulley. Not that I'm going to ever run anything off that belt pulley, but it'd be nice to have it just so I can say I got it. I'm not sure what we're going to need here on this rock shaft, if anything, for that 3-point hitch setup I got on there. We'll have to look at that when we get around to putting that 3-point hitch on. This fender has some cancer in it at the same spot, so we'll have to replace that. Another thing I have noticed here on Lil Bee is there are no rear work lights other than that little red tail light. So I'll have to see about finding a work light that I can put on here that will somewhat match an original style set of fronts. Now this is something I know have known about since I got the tractor, is this big goofy nut on there. I do have the correct nut and wrench tool to change out the original style nut, which looks just like this one on the left side. It's flat on two sides, round on the rest of it. Yeah, it's kind of a good size thing when you look at it with your hand there. I do have a new one of those and a new tool to take those on and off with. Now there's some oil here on this left side, so I imagine a seal is going to need to be replaced. We'll get the chains off of this tire. Yeah, like I said, that sport bracket's got to come out. Whatever they were using that loader for on this tractor, they tied the foot brake pedals together with this piece of steel plate here. I'm going to pull these bolts out, remove that plate, so the pedals will work independently of each other again, which they don't work anyway right now because this plate hits the battery, so you can't push them down far enough to even make them work. I had been looking at Baldwin brand filters on Fleabay that are running about 25 bucks a pop. Well, I stopped by my local NAPA to see if they had one. Well, they did, and this is the last one. It's a number 7011. Yeah, so this is the last one that they had on the shelf, and guess what? The stick that goes in that center hole has broken off. It's down in there, but it's broken off down inside of that, and I made the comment to the sales clerk about that, and that's why I asked him if he had another, and he said, nope, we just have the one. This assembly right here as another oil filter base assembly like this one right here, complete with the oil pressure gauge on it that you can see right there. Now, I don't need that base. I would like to change out that hydraulic line if I need to, or this oil line if I need to, but it's a spare. But what I really got it for was that shaft right here, that thing. Yeah, that's why there's a wooden stick up inside those new filters. That is to keep the hole open for this thing to slide up into in the bottom of here. Yeah, see that big hole there in the bottom of that? Yeah, right there. That's for that thing to slide on into. So when you buy those filters new, first thing you got to do is pull that stick out of there. Now I can't pull it out with my pair of needle nose plier deals on my Leatherman tool, but I got a pair of tweezers or another pair of pliers I can probably dig that out with. It's the only reason why I went ahead and bought it. But that stupid thing, 40 bucks at my local NAPA auto parts dealership. When I can get at Baldwin, which is just as good if not better, on eBay for 25 bucks. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to order a case of them off of eBay just to have around the place here at 25 bucks a pop, because everything's going to go up and the economy is going to get worse, times are going to get tough, and I may need this little tractor to do some field work. When I get this old filter off and get it good and drained, I'm going to slide it on here to protect that oil tube. We're going to have to put a new gasket around this filter base because it looks like it's leaking, or it's leaking out from down here in this hose connection. I do not like that hose, so I'm going to order a new set of tubing for this, and I need to replace that fitting. I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah, it's some aftermarket big brass thing. There's supposed to be a little cast fitting, kind of like this one up here, right there for the oil line. Yeah, I actually have an Alice Chalmers magneto on this thing. It's Fairbanks Morse style. Yeah, all that wiring is loose and everything. So when I'm not using this tractor, I may send this in and have it gone through, rebuilt, parts replaced that needs to be replaced, and sent back to me, so it's 100% ready to go again next year. Yeah, and this is the governor right here, and we'll need to get into it and some of this linkage here to find out why we're running the carburetor so fast. But yeah, other than that, this side of the engine's okay, other than I am going to get the correct spark plug wires and put on there. Carbon core wires like these are don't get you the full power to the spark plug out of a magneto. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. Maybe if I turn one way or the other. But there are raised decals under here that say Alice Chalmers. They're all even height. Some of the early ones, the front and rear letters, the A and the S back here would have been different heights, but these are all the same height. Can't tell you what color they were because they painted over it. But yeah, so if I get a set of those vinyl decals that are just the letters, they're not on that big plastic strip, that looks pretty much like what was on there, so that's what's going to go back on it. And of course, the whole thing will need a coat of paint, and I might need a new hood because it's kind of flat right here on top. Plus, there's a couple extra holes over here around the muffler that don't need to be there, so I may just replace the hood. Gas tank, of course, we'll have to dig into it, see if it needs to be boiled out or just cleaned well. I need a new gas cap for the thing. And we'll go down here. There's that Dodge rim that needs to be replaced with an Alice Chalmers rim. Now, for some reason, this little tractor seems to be running extremely hot. I don't know if we have something plugged up or what. I definitely need a different radiator cap. And when I get to restoring this thing and checking it out, make sure it's going to work, I'll take the hood off, take this radiator shell off, and then I'm going to unhook the radiator and find out if that dang thing is full of stop leak or something like that. If it is, that radiator's coming out and it's going to go in and get boiled out at a radiator shop. So wiring cables, harness for the whole thing for the 3-wire alternator, battery cables, a 60 amp gauge to go in the dash panel, a light switch. I don't think I'm going to get an original style light switch because that actually worked with the voltage cutout on the old generator. Depending on which position you put it, would let that cutout stay on longer to charge the battery more, depending on how bright you were running or how many lights you were running. I think what I'm going to find though is a off, on, and on switch, with the second on position being able to run the rear work light as well as the front headlights. We'll see. The little red taillight on the left fender would be tied into the headlight, so that would be in the second position on. So I'll have to see if I can find one of those switches, and or just add an extra switch, just have an on off with an extra switch for that work light where I can get to it. The reason why we're going to keep this thing is 12 volt. It's already got the alternator on it. The alternator works, I think. At least it was. So we'll just keep using it. And one of the other reasons why I'm going to leave it as a 12 volt is I'm going to run a 4-prong, what would you call it? Well, like a trailer light kit, where you plug your trailer lights into the back end of a towing vehicle. We're going to put a 4-pin connector on the back of the tractor here. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is to run a 12 volt electric pump on like my weed sprayer. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we're going to keep this tractor as 12 volt, is to run my little weed sprayer. Because unfortunately I'm going to have to probably kill a bunch of my pasture grass because it is full of Canadian thistle along the fence line with the neighbor's property, who does not take care of their stuff. So yeah, that's the 12 volt. So we're going to do that. I'm going to order up some headlights. We'll keep the seat cushion that we got for now, even though it's ripped. I'll get on to changing that nut on that tire on the wheel where it bolts onto the drop axle stub. We'll get the chains off these rear tires. We'll change out the front tires, get all that taken care of. I'm going to order up a set of bushings for the front axle. So we're going to pull the front axle out of this tractor and rebuild that so it's a little tighter in the steering. Like I said, it is Saturday. You won't be seeing this till Sunday. I think we are going to start making these videos pop up on Sundays now, so I'll have the week to put them together for you, because most of what I'm going to have to film will be in the evenings, because yeah, the in-town job's taking too much time. So yeah, so we're going to be having these out every Sunday for you, give you something to look forward to. Anyway, I can't think of anything else we got going on today, so I thank you all. Y'all be good and behave and be kind and courteous to the neighbors that deserve it, and subscribe right down there, that big red thing that says subscribe on it. I'd appreciate it. Last I looked this morning, we were at 690 subscribers, highest I've ever been. If you enjoy the content, please do subscribe to it. Let me know. That lets me know we're on the right track. We've gained 30 some odd subscribers since I changed the name from Nelson Creek Farm to Dave's Old Iron, which is what we're playing with around here. And yeah, on we will roll. So I'll catch up with you all next Sunday. Bye-bye for now.